Hello, everyone. Audible?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, everyone. Am I audible? Could you just confirm? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So let's just wait for another 5 minutes, and then I have something to share with all of you. So yes, Avril, you can turn on your camera. Let others know more about KGF and our team.
Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Hi, Kavya ma'am.
Hi. Okay, so the basic objective of this live is to just share some value additions and value points. Just waiting for some of the people to join on YouTube, and then we can just have a quick discussion. So, guys, let me know in the chat box if you are available and if I can begin talking about some of the reports I made and how you can make an equity research report. I guess everybody's having a good gala time during Christmas and people are not active on YouTube. So this is a trial live. I mean, it will be removed later if no one joins.
Well, Christmas is coming, so everyone is busy, I guess.
Yeah, I can't see anyone yet.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, in case any one of you has joined, right? Do you know the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis? Anyone? Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes, Kavya.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the difference between fundamentals and technicals. So, if any one of you is watching, could you brief me in the chat box what you understand as the difference between both? Yeah, I hope. What was
Um, okay, people are joining.
okay? So, hello everyone, and the agenda for today's live is to just throw upon the concepts of the stock market a little bit here and there, right? But as I had posted that I would be talking about, a general question and answer, followed by we will be talking about some important concepts that we all should know. So I wanted to come and talk here about the difference between fundamental and technical analysis. So can you read in this on the screen the definitions for both? Aviral, can you help me with the definitions and then I can explain what they mean?
Sure. So for fundamental analysis, it's value calculated using various economic factors, and for technical analysis, it is uses price movements and patterns on chart to predict future price movements.
Correct. So which among these analysis do you think is more relevant for the stock market?
Well, I think fundamental analysis.
Okay. But don't you think that stock market is all about the prices of the different stocks and hence it should be technical?
Well, since I'm new to the market, so yeah, I mean technical analysis is always work. So
Yeah, so technical analysis as it says that it uses the price movement. So वो देखता है कि prices का क्या trend है and how has the demand and supply factors impacted the price, right? That is technical analysis. But if we consider fundamental analysis, fundamental is more about the value associated with the company's stock, right? So any questions, anyone till now? Well,
I
in technicals, we consider analyzing the charts. So, kaun sa chart? We analyze the chart of a particular company's stock, right? But in fundamentals, we are more concerned about the economic reports, the news. Anything funny, Aviral?
no
It
nothing.
seems you are
Actually,
about to.
Gauri Negi also said technical, so I was like, okay, I'm wrong. On the live chat, Gauri's just mentioned technical analysis.
Oh, okay. Okay, so basically the objective here is to understand what differentiates these two, right? So before that, we need to understand what is the difference between a trader and an investor. So tell me, how is a trader different from an investor? Anyone? I can't see the live chat. Would you be able to help me with the same, Avril? If somebody types
Sure,
something in the
I
chat
will.
box, just let me know.
Sure.
So I just wanted to understand that what is the difference between fundamental, I mean, what is the difference between investing and trading? And by reading what is mentioned on the slide, आपको क्या लगता है कि एक टेक्निकल एनालिस्ट के लिए, आई मीन एक ट्रेडर के लिए कौन सा एनालिसिस ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होगा एंड एक इन्वेस्टर के लिए कौन सा एनालिसिस ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होगा?
Well, in my what I think is investment is a long term and involves less risk, while trading is a short term and involves higher risk.
Absolutely. Um, when I talk when I talk about technical analysis, I am talking about the recent price actions or what has changed in the market with respect to the demand and supply of that particular stock, which means that technical analysis is yes for the term, but we cannot comment on the riskiness of the asset. The riskiness depends on the volatility, but yes, the prices and the fluctuation in prices can be studied using technical analysis. In fundamentals, we are more concerned about what the company is doing or what its financials are. When I say financials, I care about the historical figures for the last 5 years, or how the company might have performed in the last couple of years. So
Well,
that,
Kavya,
yeah.
Gauri's also mentioned that investors invest on long term basis, but traders are someone who continuously track market and more active than investors. Well, traders are constantly on watch and keeping track for prices all time, and it's also technical and fundamental for investors.
Yeah, so when you are absolutely right, Gauri, but we can't comment whether only the traders track the market all the time. It's not like that. As an investor, you could be a trader, but if you are a trader, you might not want to invest for the long run. ठीक है, अगर आप एक ट्रेडर हो तो okay, tell me, if you are a trader, would you benefit when the market goes up? Would you benefit when the market goes down? Or would you benefit in both the cases? So as a trader, क्या आपके पास market up जाएगा तब opportunity है, या in both the cases you will be able to benefit something? Also, for an investor, will an investor only benefit when the market improves, the market goes down, or will he also benefit in both the cases? Tell me. Okay, let me answer. And I guess meanwhile, you guys would be typing something in the chat box. I'll expect a few answers. But the objective here is to understand that जब हम एक trader है या जब हम एक investor है, so a trader would, what was my question? I completely lost track of the question. What have I asked? Yes. So the question was whether the technical traders or the fundamental traders will benefit in both movements of the market. So when the market goes up, right? When the market is going up, that is when the investors will benefit, because आप जब company में किसी invest करते हो, so you invest with an objective that the share prices will go up, right? But when you are a trader and the share prices fall, can you benefit or can you make profit?
Well, Aryan also mentioned that for equity research, analyst profile is it's fine if we don't have good knowledge about technical analysis.
Very good question, Arun, because this is a very general query we all face. So basically, when you want to enter into equity research, right? Equity research is 80% fundamental and 20% technical. Why 20% technical? Because when you make a equity research report, ठीक है, उस report में you have to give a very holistic view. You can't just talk about the company's fundamentals or the company's peer group analysis. You will also have to mention about the target share price, or you will have to mention कि company के charts में what is the movement like, how has the technical charts performed. So just to be able to comment on that part, you should know the basics of technical, so that आप एक chart का basic analysis अपने equity research report में डाल पाओ, right? So post this, I will also be sharing about what all factors should be considered in an equity research report. But before that, let us understand that fundamentals and technicals में majority difference क्या है. So did you understand, Arun? Is your doubt clear now?
Well,
Okay.
Gauri also mentioned that trader would benefit on both.
Yes. So as she said that, traders want to make maximum benefit of the share movements or the price movements. So they will invest in those companies, stock जिनका price ऊपर जा रहा है, and they can benefit from the short run movement in the prices. But what if the prices go down? So you guys only tell me what will happen in that scenario. So when the prices are going down, how can a trader make profit? Think about it. Yes, anyone? So as you said that traders would benefit on both the sides of the market. Buy, sell call. Yes, they might enter into an opposite position. Okay. So there is one side of the market which benefits when the market goes up. There is one side of the market that benefits when the market goes down. Right. So वो क्या होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं options. Right. So when the market goes down, and a person or a trader might enter into an opposite position. So one position is where you are long. When you buy something, going long means you buy a security. Shorting it means selling. ठीक है. So अगर आपने कोई security buy करी है in the derivative market, you can enter into an opposite position, which is you become a seller of that particular stock. But we can't sell an equity stock and buy it at the same time, right? आपने suppose 100 रुपये में कोई share खरीदा, you sell it at 20, your profit is 20, but you have to enter into a selling contract. So that contract is derivatives. ठीक है. So we are not going to talk much about derivatives. we are going to understand what differentiates a fundamental analyst from a technical analyst. Okay? So as I said that the fundamental analyst will be concerned more about the historicals of the business, how the financials have evolved, you know, peer comparison, company के competitors क्या है, company का mission, vision, statement क्या है, right? The technical analysts would be more concerned only about the volumes in the market, price की movement up down कैसी हुई है, ठीक है? So let us just have a look at the presentation. Technical analysts, generally they are swing traders or short term day traders, which means they take benefit of the short term price movements. Okay? And the fundamental traders take long positions. Long means they buy positions for the long run. How long can those times be? So अगर आपने किसी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट किया, say you invest in Reliance, you invest in HDFC, you Reliance in the blue chip companies, आप उसको कब तक होल्ड करोगे? So what is the definition of long term? Long term means it could span across months, it could span across a few weeks and even years, right? But a technical analyst would want to make quick money, he would want to make quick profits. And how would he do that? By entering into those trades or trading in those securities जो एकदम से price movement दे दे. So can you guys name one sector during the COVID time that can benefit a lot or that can give good price movements? ऐसा कोई sector आ रहा है आपके mind में? Think of a sector जो despite COVID will benefit. Yes, guys. Hospital stocks, instead of hospital, we can use some other word. Or could you name some of those companies which are into hospitality? Try to name a few stocks which are into those areas or whose segments are related to the COVID related products or services. So COVID में what all areas would be more impacted in terms of not impacted negatively, even positively. So tell me, what are those industries जो सबसे ज़्यादा impact होंगी because of COVID? So one is definitely the automobile sector, or say, it could be the tourism sector. So the tourism sector will be positively or negatively impacted. It will be negatively impacted, right? Because people will not move the tourism. There will be a sharp decline in the traveling that people are going to do, right, during the COVID phase. But what about the pharma stocks? The pharma companies are going to boom. Why? Give me the reason. Is it because उनका fundamentals बहुत अच्छा है? Is it because their historicals have improved drastically? Or is it because उनके price movements या उनकी demand supply ज़्यादा आ रही है? Just answer this. Will they have strong fundamentals or will their price charts move in a positive direction? Yes.
Well,
और
I believe demand बहुत high हो जाती है. In terms of demand in COVID, pharma sector's demand is really high, due to which the stock price also got high.
Absolutely. So it's majorly because the demand for the pharma companies, I mean, demand in terms of their products. That can you name some of the pharma company, guys? कुछ pharma companies बताओ जो इंडिया में ऑपरेट करती है. If you've heard the name.
Absolutely, Arya.
Glenmark Pharma. What else? और बताओ. I want more names. Cipla, right? Cipla, Glenmark Pharma, GlaxoSmith, Divis Lab. What else? Lalpath Labs and Sun Pharma, Aurobindo Pharma. or okay, fine. So, before we actually talk about what is, I mean, I think हमें एक fair amount of idea है about what is the difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis. But today I want to focus more on एक fundamental report कैसे बनाते हैं, ठीक है? So we'll keep ourselves restricted to that. So these are a few assumptions for technical, which I will be explaining. So guys, before we talk of technicals, a very important slide, right? So what are the timings of the market? Do you know that our Indian market starts at 9:15 a.m. in the morning till 3:30 p.m. and it operates for 6 hours and 15 minutes, out of which this 9 to 15 is called the pre-opening time, while the normal trading session is 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., right? And no exchange, no transaction takes place beyond this time. Now, can any one of you tell me, as per the recent news, the RBI or say the SEBI, they are considering to expand the market hours to what time? Like market hours extend होने की बात हो रही है ना? So कितने बजे तक people, I mean, the authorities would be doing it for? Nifty 50 up जाएगा या down? Very difficult to assess, Aryan, considering the global scenario and the market completely, it's a devastated market because of the global news and also because of the outbreak of the COVID-19 in China. Not just in China, it has now moved to other geographies, and unfortunately, this is a very deadly variant. It might impact our Indian economy even more, right? Our market is it is possible for the market to drop down to 16,800 levels. But again, sometimes panic selling happens in the market and we don't know what the institutional investors or the FDI, FIIs, DIIs are going to do, right? They might buy a lot and because of that, a market can suddenly have a reversal. But as far as my knowledge, it might come down more if we happen to see more cases increasing and there is panic that has been created in our economy in our country, right? So the panic in the country with respect to COVID will decide the fear of people in selling their shares and stocks. But again, see, the auto sector, the IT sector, and all the famous sectors which were actually driving our economy, the banking sector, have really had a bad time in the last 2 3, in fact 4 5 trading sessions. But as we see that the pharma sector is picking up, right? The situation might come under control for the government of India. Globally, the markets might go really down. So when this COVID-19 pandemic had hit, one day before, there was a news that Nike had increased their earnings. Nike had reported very good earnings. As a result, the Dow index or the Dow Jones actually increased, but eventually it all fell and there was a market crash, right? So in such scenarios, it's very difficult to predict what is going to happen with our Indian markets. But yes, let's wait and see, and let's hope there is some recovery coming week, because what I see for January, it's not a good month to start investing at all, right? So let us be cautious of the fact that we don't hold or we don't have any short-term investments, and we do. But again, a personal suggestion from my end, this is the best time for investment, right? Because everything you want to invest in will be available at a cheap price, especially the blue chip companies, right? You can invest in Axis Bank, you can invest in so many other, well known blue chip companies. You can go invest in ITC, even Reliance, you can pick up, right? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we check what the buy and sell is, what is the scenario for the total buying and selling volume from the FII side. But again, it is majorly about the sentiments of our people and how much they have started relying on the global indices. That determines how whether there'll be a gap up or a gap down that will happen in the economy, right? But again, so the objective is not to discuss, about more of the technical side of the market, but the objective is to understand what the fundamentals are and how those fundamentals can be used to make an equity research report. right? So let me just draw your attention towards discussing that. Tell me some of the ways you can make an equity research report. So for example, आपको किसी भी company के बारे में एक report बनानी है. I want all of you to let me know in the comments that आप क्या क्या चीजें consider करोगे while analyzing a company internally or while analyzing a company's financials. What all will you consider within that company? So what is the first thing that you will see? Let us take an example of a pharma company, right? Let us say you want to make a report on Cipla, correct? What will your report look like? जब आप एक equity research report बनाओगे, what all factors will you consider in making that report? That is what I want to understand. ROCE, okay. So ROCE आप थोड़ा बाद में देखोगे. पहले आप ratios directly तो नहीं देखोगे. Ratios देखने के लिए भी you want the financial statements of the company, right? So that is what I'm asking. आप क्या देखोगे और वो information आपको कहाँ से मिलेगी? So you might be interested to know about the mission and vision statement of the company first, right? आप कहोगे कि मुझे कंपनी का क्या मिशन है, क्या विजन है, मुझे पहले वो जानना है. Correct? Am I right?
Yes, Kavya.
So once you are through with the vision, what is the next step? किसी भी कंपनी के बारे में, irrespective of its industry and its domain and its market, what are you more concerned on? Yes, you will get it in their annual reports. You will get their financials, you know, the vision mission statement in their annual reports, in their investor presentations. But what else? आप और क्या देखोगे? Let me present my screen and show you a brief, report that I made for Cipla. Let me know if it's visible to all of you.
It is visible.
Okay. So as you can see, you know, on the first page, you can just mention or pick up a theme which is relevant to your company. So for example, I was talking about Cipla and Cipla ka jo logo hai, right? It simply mentions like this. So I have picked up a theme for my report which has a similar, you know, pharma, which gives a little bit of a pharma vibe, correct? After that, I'll move to the company overview. Now tell me, what should you be including in a company's overview? You should tell them about whether it's a public company, a private company, if it is traded on which exchange, right? Whether it has a derivative instrument or not. What is the industry? So Cipla belongs to the pharmaceuticals industry, right? So I mentioned pharmaceuticals. Guys, this report has been made almost a year ago. Hence, I would not suggest you to put screenshots. हम screenshots नहीं डालेंगे. We will try and put this in a form of a table that looks more appealing, right? So again, you can use n number of pictures you want, but try to keep it very simple and don't keep it very, colorful. Your equity research report should be straightforward, but very simple and sober. Okay, so then you can, mention about the industry that it belongs to. So before I start with the company overview, we have to talk about the industry first, right? So I can start with at least 1 or 2 pages talking about the pharmaceutical industry. I can talk about what the pharma industry in general is doing. So usme what will I be concerned about? I will be concerned about the industry parameters, like what is the CAGR, what is the trend of that industry, what is the forecasting, how the COVID has impacted the industry. So the pharma industry in general. Okay. Any one of you, can you tell me the full form of CAGR? So full form of CAGR, anyone?
Well, is compound annual growth rate.
Yeah, so it's compounded annual growth rate and it is calculated using the final value and the initial value. ठीक है, so हम final हम देखते हैं overall compound होके कितना growth मिला है. So CAGR will help you identify कि company के revenues over the last 5 years कैसे grow हुए हैं. So that is a very important parameter for analyzing any component of the financial statement, right? Okay. So once you are done with the industry analysis, आपने industry के forecast बता दिए, उसके trends बता दिए, what is the next step? You move to your specific company and you talk about, who's the founder of the company, what is the latest revenue that they had published, whether it's a public company, what is the authorized share capital, and then so many other things, as you can see, I have mentioned here, right? So once you are done with the company overview would talk majorly about any recent patterns that you have observed in the business. For example, I am talking about the pharma industry or I'm talking about Cipla. हो सकता है Cipla की कोई news आई हो market में, which is very catchy and should be there on the first page itself and should be known by the people who are reading your report, right? So as a first step, we will make sure that हम ये general information या सबसे latest information include करें. Your report should definitely have a header and a footer, right? So in my case, I've had a footer with my Gmail ID and my name so that anyone can approach me back if they want any clarity. After I talk about the industry and the company overview, another very important thing is the board of directors or the people who are managing the business, right? So then I have mentioned a few things about the board of directors. Okay. Now, एक चीज जो मुझे आप सबसे पूछनी है, shareholders have a stake in the business, right? हर shareholder का कुछ ना कुछ अपने company में stake या percentage holding होती है. So what do you think? Higher the holding, the better it is, or lower the holding from a promoter, the better it is. So if I am a promoter and I have very high promoter holding, so as an investor, do you want कि किसी भी company में किसी भी promoter की high holding हो या less is better? So what is the shareholders holding? A shareholder pattern or a shareholder holding will tell you कि company का खुद का कितना interest या stake है उस business में, right? Yeah. Why is higher the better? Higher is better because अगर एक shareholder के पास ज़्यादा shares हैं अपने ही company के, what will it indicate? Yes, guys, tell me. अगर आप एज एन ओनर अपनी खुद की कंपनी में सबसे ज्यादा शेयर ओन करते हो, what impression will it give or what will it indicate? So we understood that higher is better. Why? Because as promoters they want more. Yeah. So as a general rule, the higher the shareholding, it indicates that the promoters are more confident and they have a better clarity about the working of the business. And क्योंकि उनका खुद इतना high interest है business में, they are confident that the operations are in place, that the company has a sound financial system going on. There is no solvency issues in the business because अगर ऐसी चीजें होती तो the investors would not have had such a high share in their own business. But again, I reiterating to what Aaron had mentioned in the chat that share pledge नहीं होनी चाहिए. There shouldn't be share pledging in the business. So a higher shareholding is preferred, but the lower the pledging, the better it is. Right? So आप उसको ऐसे present कर सकते हो. If you can see my screen. So I have mentioned that the major promoters and their holdings in percentage, right? So the founder of this business or the person who is managing it, the CEO or say the founder, has 20% stake in the business. So this is a older report, guys. This is for 21. So I just wanted to show you that आप इसको ऐसे present कर सकते हो in the form of a pie chart. No screenshots. We are not going to use any screenshots. Absolutely. For example, in the case of Avenue Supermarts or D-Mart, can you name the promoter of D-Mart? Can you name the founder or the person who is the face of D-Mart? Yes, Keshav, could you help me with that? Yes.
Well, it's Radhakishan Damani.
Yeah, so it's Radhakrishnan Damani, and he alone holds a major share. He alone holds a major share of the business, right? He holds more than 80% of DMart. Aaron, is it something funny? So I guess we all are in that, chill mode too. So no worries. It's also good to have fun and laugh a bit here and there, but it's rather Krishna Damani. Okay. He's the founder or the spokesperson for DMart. And DMart, if you consider DMart as a firm, if you check their shareholding pattern, then he holds a major share of the business, which means he's confident about the working of the business. However, in contrary, if you see Reliance, Reliance may Mr. Mukesh Ambani do not have a direct individual stake, but there is one company that he has made which has a stake in Reliance, right? So as an individual, he does not have major stake, but his family members do have a stake in Reliance. So all these things we should check before investing. Okay. So no worries. After the shareholding pattern, we should know about the market cap, the number of shares which are currently trading in the market. So आप इस type की information को थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे display कर सकते हो in an equity research report. Now we know about the industry, we know about the company, we know about the shareholding pattern. What is important now? One thing that I missed in this report is talking about the products and services of the business. ठीक है, तो जब मैं शेयर होल्डिंग पैटर्न बता रही हूँ या मैं बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स की बात कर रही हूँ, बिफोर आई टॉक अबाउट द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, आई शुड ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट व्हाट I should talk about the products and services that the business offers, right? Because depending on the products and services it offers, I will be able to categorize them into different segments, and I will be able to comment कि किस segment से कितना ज़्यादा revenue आ रहा है, which segment or which product is generating the maximum revenue to that business. So that is very important. Okay, ठीक है, हमने सब कुछ बात कर ली. Now what? Every company will have its weaknesses, its threats, opportunities, right? So what is that one thing in marketing जो हमने पढ़ी है that will help us, identify these parameters? How would you check the key performance indicators for a company? Which approach will you use? We will talk about SWOT analysis, right? What is SWOT? Anyone? The full form of SWOT? Okay, please go on. Anyone? SWOT? What is SWOT? What is the full form?
Okay, Misha is saying only strength. Well, not. It's strength, weakness, threat, and opportunities.
Yeah, so I think he was mentioning it. So it's strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, out of which strength and weakness is internal and opportunities and threats are external to the business, right? So आप अब एक SWOT analysis include कर सकते हो अपनी report में. So say you have included the SWOT analysis, the strengths. So in strengths, you will not just talk about the parameters of the stock market, which is, you will not just say, see, I've mentioned the technical view is bullish, right? I have mentioned that the company has a strong degree of operating leverage. Average operating leverage is this. So these leverage, the ratios, interest coverage ratio, the growth factors, ये चीजें कहाँ से आई? ये चीजें आती है कंपनी के फाइनेंशियल से, बट कंपनी की स्ट्रेंथ उनके स्टॉक प्राइसेस से भी आ सकती है. देयर कुड बी अ ह्यूज डिमांड फॉर अ कंपनीज शेयर प्राइस, राइट? दैट कैन also be a strength. So whenever you are mentioning about a SWOT analysis of a company, you have to consider both. You have to consider the technical aspect and the fundamental factors जो उनकी strength है, not just fundamentals. ठीक है? एक कंपनी की स्ट्रेंथ ये नहीं है कि उनका रेवेन्यू बढ़ रहा है, उनका स्ट्रेंथ ये भी है कि स्टॉक मार्केट में प्राइसेस का भी रिटर्न अच्छा दे रहे हैं वो अपने इन्वेस्टर्स को. Again, you will talk about the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in a similar manner. For example, for the pharma companies, what is an opportunity? An opportunity would be the COVID-19 pandemic, right? So some unforeseen factors have posed an opportunity for them to expand their product portfolio. A lot of pharma companies can enter into immunity boosters, and they can provide a lot of vaccination related services. So they have a way of improving on their existing portfolio, and then they can improve on that, right? So yes, Arun, we can get such information on Screener, but again, don't rely on screener.com. Screener will give you a very broad overview of the financials, but I would suggest you can look for other websites such as Ticker Tape, Tijori Finance. You can also consider Money Control, Business Insider, ET Money. So try and finding these things. Trendline, right? Ticker Tape is another good website to look for such things. But the most authentic source of information is definitely the annual reports. तो annual reports से आपको थोड़ा analysis करना पड़ेगा, but you can identify the strengths and weaknesses of the business. Okay, once we are done with this, it's time for financial analysis. Now at this point, we have to understand financial analysis includes what? It includes analyzing the financials of the business, right? Which means what? आप स्टेटमेंट तीनों को आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा. ओके, एम आई ऑडिबल? So you need to identify the strength, you need to identify all these parameters. आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि कंपनी का रेवेन्यू कितने परसेंटेज से बढ़ रहा है. So every component would be either increasing or decreasing. So you have to be able to comment कि रेवेन्यू इतने से बढ़ रहा है, एक्सपेंसेस इतने से घट रहे हैं, hence net profit बढ़ रहा है, right? और hence profit बढ़ रहा है. So it's a very important thing that we need to start analyzing at this stage. If we are beginners, we should know how the financials are analyzed. And one part of the financial analysis is ratio analysis, right? आपको ratio analysis इस stage पे आता है. When I talk of financial analysis, see, so I have mentioned EPS, I have calculated the earnings per share, the revenue from operations, how much have they increased, right? Then the EBIT, the PAT. So what are the yearly results, whether it has so. You will always mention it in the form of a percentage. ठीक है, हमेशा लिखोगे that it increased by so and so percentage as compared to the last year. Don't mention a lot of numbers in your reports because numbers कोई नहीं देखता. Everybody is concerned about कि कितने percentage से वो चीज बढ़ी है. Correct? Then again, a very important thing is to include the peer comparison. Peer comparison means आप ratios की बात करोगे. You will compare the performance of your company with its peers. So Cipla के peers कौन हुए? I think we have already discussed that the peers for Cipla would be Sun Pharma, Divis Lab, Dr. Reddy's Lab, Kedala Healthcare. Then you have Aurobindo Pharma, Alembic Pharma, you have Gland Pharma, you have Lupin, Biocon. So all these are the competitors of the pharma industry. Okay. So हमें ये सब भी consider करना है. And at the end of our report, we should also consider some sort of technicals. Right? हमने fundamental पे बता दिया कि the company has strong fundamentals. When will a company have strong fundamentals? When the ratios of the companies are better than the ratios of the competitors, or at least in line with them, right? And the revenues have increased, the financial factors have increased, they have improved. That is when the company has strong financials. Okay. Then you can also talk about the technical analysis. So technical में आप क्या बात करोगे? Whether it has a bullish momentum, whether it has a bearish momentum. So can any one of you give me some of the names of indicators that you can use for technical? So आप क्या क्या use करते हो technical में chart को analyze करने के लिए? I will answer that, Aryan. Don't worry. But tell me first that what factors will you use to analyze a company technically? या आप उसके chart को देख के क्या-क्या आप report में क्या include कर सकते हो for a technical chart of a company? EMA, absolutely, right? You can talk about the moving averages. You can include the RSI, right? You can include the VWAP levels. You can talk about the directional moving indicators. Yes, MACD. No problem.
MSI.
MSCI, so many other things you can look at, right? MACD, EMA, moving average, SA, EMA, MA, so many other things that you can consider, right? RSI बढ़ रहा है, कम हो रहा है, whether the RSI is close to 100 or is it close to 20. So all those things make a big difference. आर्यन बेसिक तो आपको पता होना ही चाहिए टेक्निकल का सो इफ यू डोंट नो इट्स टाइम दैट यू इन्वेस्ट योर टाइम इन द बेसिक्स ऑफ द स्टॉक मार्केट if you want to learn it from us, we have a course on the basics of stock market. You can also enroll with that course. So, technicals हमने समझ लिया. Then what do you think is, so I have used the RSI, I have used DMI, the directional moving average, and I have also used the Fibonacci retracement to arrive at the target levels of the business, of the company. Okay? So I'm able to estimate what is the target that can be achieved. So can any one of you go back and check Bollinger Bands? Very good. And can anyone of you go and check the price of Cipla, the last traded price? I mean, obviously it would be low because of the market volatility, but let's see what is the share price. Yes, anyone? Wait, I'll ask you. Yes, Keshav, Aryan, Soumitra, Mishra, could you check the current market price of Cipla? Fibonacci retracement is one of the ways of checking the retracement of or the reversal levels of any stock. So it's a part of technical analysis. So yes, the current market price of Cipla. Anyone? Whoever knows, Avril, you can also answer now.
Well, Cipla share price for today is 1125.
So is it has it increased or what has happened?
It's increased by 0.24%.
So again, we know the reason why it has increased, right? It's a pharma
Yes.
company. Okay. So I think am I audible? Okay, so 1 second. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Kavya.
So if I talk about, exactly. So if I show you the chart or if I show you my analysis that I had done in the year 2021, so can you tell me what target had I established? The first target was 917. The second was 929 and then it was 945, right? So this target has already been achieved on the charts. Imagine this was 2021. Had you invested in Cipla in the year 2021? So I have, when have I conducted this analysis? I have done this, just see. I had taken the price on the 26th of May, right? So if you would have invested at 945, what is the price right now? It's 1125. So you can estimate how the Cipla stock has increased in these in almost a year and a few months, right? And it still grows to improve because of the pandemic. So this is something you should be able to comment on, right? You should be able to analyze ki, I think this can be the target, and then you should be able to talk about whether that target has been achieved or not at a later stage. Okay, so if I just conclude everything, eventually I need to answer one thing. And what is it? Is Cipla an attractive stock to invest in? Or should I go with Dr. Reddy? Or should I invest in, say, Lupin? Should I invest in Aurobindo Pharma, Sun Pharma? How will you comment on this? How will you arrive at this? Tell me, everyone. So wait, I'll just leave this question open to all, but I would just comment. I will just walk you through the remaining report, right? Just see. So I have mentioned the priorities that the company had way in for the future, the futuristic vision and the sources. So the sources are very important for a report. Now let me open the floor for any questions, and also let me know how would you analyze, or how will you comment whether Cipla is a good company to invest in. Yes, anyone?
Okay, so may I, Kavya?
Yeah.
So I rate Cipla high because it offers highly rated compensation and benefits. While in terms of Dr. Reddy, it is mostly highly rated for culture.
Okay, but what I wanted to know is, आप किस basis पे ये बोल रहे हो? Like your analysis based on company ने अपने employees को कैसे treat किया, या what are the numerical factors or the reported financials, or some other factors you are considering? You will be able to comment on the same if you see at how the competitors have performed. For example, how the revenue has increased, how the numbers have increased or decreased, and also how the company has adapted to other very important things, such as, the ESG matrix, or, say how are they catering to the sustainability factors or the environmental factors. So will you not consider those things? Yes, we will, by looking at their financials and also the growth opportunities of the business. So growth opportunities आपको मिलेंगी in the mission vision statement of the business. Yes, there should be a steady growth. The company should look like a promising company which has spent a lot on their R&D to be able to keep developing, keep growing and expanding to different areas. Right? So अगर Cipla सिर्फ vaccines या medicines तक रह जाए, and tomorrow if Cipla doesn't adapt to making surgical masks, or it does not provide other instruments, other equipments needed as per the technology, what do you think will happen? It will not be able to survive, right? So eventually, unka revenue bhi down jayega, and it is no more an attractive company to invest in. So these kind of things we need to understand. Again, yes, the sustainable growth rate plus the returns that it's offering to its investors is what will eventually decide whether it's high or low. That will determine whether you should go and invest in the company. You will also look at the multiple valuation ratios, as Keshav mentioned, the PE ratio. You will mention about the EV upon EBITDA, the price upon sales, the price upon EV, so many other things. But now we look at the PEG ratio and not the PE ratio. Not that PEG, guys. PEG nahi marna. Okay? PEG is price to earnings ratio along with the growth rate. Okay? So yeah, that's all from my end. I think I have given you guys enough of knowledge to at least start making a report. Let me know if you have any questions now, or else we can close this session. And thanks all for joining. So any questions, anyone? If you have anything, let me know. how do fund managers of AMCs are able to find multi-bagger companies. So they have a lot of screeners, Aryan, which help them identify which companies would be able to give a breakout, which of them are near their 52-week high and low. The calculations they use is very internal to them, but even you can find a multi-bagger if you use screeners, you keep some companies in your radar, and you study on the returns they have provided in the last 1 year. There are a few companies which have provided more than 500% of returns in the last 2-3 years. So we keep such companies in target, we keep them in our watch list, keep analyzing them from time to time. So yes, they do have some softwares also that help them. They use algo trading and all sorts of all sorts of softwares like that, which help them identify that trigger entry points, which we as retail investors would not be able to do without those softwares. So they do have those systems in hand. Balance sheet. What do you want to know, Mishra, for balance sheet? Any specific question? So I'll close the session in the next 3 minutes if anyone wants to ask anything. Oh, yes. So, Arun, you asked me how to identify the red flags in a company. Again, the red flags would be quite evident with respect to if there is any speculative news happening. So, for example, a company is regularly hitting its lower circuit, or if there is a lot of selling happening in a particular stock. Okay? Or, for example, you might see that the shareholders have pledged a lot of shares. So, there are a lot of checkpoints that needs to be checked before commenting on the red flags of the business, but some of them are become evident at a later stage. So the first thing you should see if the prices are moving and the volume is also increasing. So if there is some manipulation in the market जिसमें volume move नहीं हो रहा but the prices are going up and down, that is the biggest red flag. That means there is some manipulation happening from the big retail investor, big institutional investors, right? Yes, you need to also check the balance sheet ratios, Mishwa, and not just the balance sheet. You should also check the cash flow statement ratios, right? So for the balance sheet, you will calculate ratios such as ROE, ROCE. In this, the capital structure जो हम लेते हैं, capital structure balance sheet से आता है. You will also consider the most important thing that you will also have to check is the debt to equity ratio or the solvency and the profitability ratios. So solvency ratio तो पूरा का पूरा आपके balance sheet के component से आता है, right? So yes, we will check the balance sheet ratios as well while analyzing a company, and we will also mention it in our report. Okay, so guys, I'm closing the session for all. In case any one of you joined late or missed something, you can go back and check the recordings. I'll try and keep it there on the channel for some time, and then maybe we can take it down. So if any one of you is interested to learn from or get mentored personally, you can join our course, which is already started today, but we would be able to provide you the recordings as well. So you have not missed much. In case you want to learn all about the stock market, the fundamental analysis, company analysis, industry analysis, kindly do get in touch with us at kgflearning@gmail.com, and we will be able to incorporate you in the as a part of the course. It's a completely live course which will have the next session tomorrow, right? So you can join that too. Yes, Mishra, you can ask the question. Keep learning, everyone. All the very best, and keep sharing this channel with the people so that more and more people can get benefited. Also, ask your friends to like, share, and subscribe. And before you go, kindly hit the like button. Yes, I am a part of the Gurgaon office. Is that all? Anything else? Anyone? Yeah, wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. And stay happy, stay blessed, keep learning, and all the very best to each one of you. God bless.
Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Okay, so congratulations, Mishra, for joining EY. Which profile have you joined, and who keeps the induction one day prior? I mean, one day after, I mean, very close to New Year, you would be having your induction. It's good and bad both, right? Thanks, Vijay, for joining. All the best.
Thank you, Keshav. Thanks, Vijay.
Which team have you joined, Mishra? And anything you'd like to know from our end? Because it's work from home for all of us and we don't go to the office much. Okay, operations. Not bad. So I think Avril, you would be more in touch with him in case you guys get to work together. Because I guess there is no separate team of operations. It's a part of consulting, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it's a
wrong.
parts of consulting. So, mission which team? Logistics, planning.
Jyoti ma'am. I'm not aware by name.
No, no, no. We are not aware by the name for the HR, but I mean, which team are you selected? I mean, logistics. If logistics, most welcome.
I think maybe that is notified once the induction happens. In some cases, after the induction, they get to know which team are they a part of. GL. What is GL?
Well, that's new for me also. What is GL?
Okay, no worries. So I hope that once you join, Mishra, you will be able to connect on Teams and talk. And if you face any challenges as a part of this culture, if in our capacity we can help you, definitely. And I think Avril can be your go-to person. He is always there to help others whenever there is any question or query or any difficulty. Feel free to reach out to him at any point. Okay, general ledger. Okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it. Okay, so perfect, guys. I think we had a good session, right? And thanks for participating. You guys can now go sleep, watch a movie with your loved ones, and enjoy all the good festivities that are there. So all the best. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye bye, and have a great day and a
Bye,
great new year ahead.
bye, guys. Have a good day. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you, Kavya. It's a wonderful session. And as she mentioned,